Task 1. Listen to the text and for each question mark the correct answer A, B, C or D. You now have 40 seconds to look through the task. You will then hear the recording twice.
Today, we're talking to Professor Robert Atkinson, an expert in the city of Mohenjo-Daro. What's so special about this city?
Well, first of all, not only is it one of the first cities in human history, it's also one of the largest and best preserved ones from the time. It was built by the Indus civilization next to the river Indus around 2500 BCE. That's about the same time the Great Pyramids in Egypt were being built. Its area is about 5 times the size of Vatican City today. That's huge for the time.
And what was the city like?
There are 2 main areas. The lower town, which I'll speak about in a moment, and the citadel, where all the monuments are. The most impressive one is the Great Bath, an enormous tank filled by the river Indus, which suggests that the residents had a very close relationship with water. That's very unusual for that period. The Roman baths, for instance, only became popular over 2,000 years later. But even more amazing is the fact that nearly every house in Mohenjo-Daro had a bath and a toilet, and the city had extraordinarily complex water and sewage systems for the time.
Wow! What else do we know about them?
The lack of big structures, such as temples or palaces, is another mystery about Mohenjo-Daro. This seems to indicate it was a society in which everyone had equal rights, very much like a democracy. According to historic sources, they didn't even have a king or a queen. Some historians even suggest they were a city-state that elected its governors, but there is no solid proof of that. This theory becomes stronger when you see the second district, called Lower Town, with blocks and streets very much like our cities today. They even had buildings with 2 or 3 floors.
So, what caused the decline of the city?
I'm afraid that's yet another mystery of Mohenjo-Daro. We don't know for sure. There's no reliable evidence of any war or disease that would have killed its inhabitants. One theory is simply that the river changed its course. As the civilization was so dependent on water, maybe the citizens just moved away after that. What we do know is that it was a major center of civilization for 600 years, with 20,000 to 40,000 inhabitants, and then suddenly it collapsed. Mohenjo-Daro was rediscovered in 1911, nearly 4,000 years after its ruin. The sad thing is that even though we've been exploring the site for over 100 years, we might not have enough time to solve all the mysteries of Mohenjo-Daro.
And why is that?
After decades of studies, we have found some answers, but also many more questions. Even though we are being as careful as possible, unfortunately, the buildings are falling apart because of the salt in the air and the rain. It might not last another 20 years if something isn't done urgently.
How awful. Is there anything that we can do about it?
Some experts are suggesting a better control over visitors, but I think that's just not enough. The only solution, in my view, is to cover it again. Leave it as we found it, underground. I mean, it's not like we can just rebuild walls that are 2,500 years old.
True. That's fascinating. Thank you, Professor.